we lost last year, and it was a big thing to come back and get this trophy back. And it's a good way to send our seniors out on the right now. You know, a lot of guys have been here longer than me, and they wanted to give back just as bad as me. So it's a good win, and good to get the trophy back.
Daquan, that was you running around with the flag afterward, right?
Yeah.
What was going through your mind? Just kind of a pure joy?
Yeah, just just the emotional state right there. I wasn't able to play last year in the game, and just seeing the faces in the locker room was kind of, it was a devastating look. And it was a bittersweet moment. Just finally being able to get the trophy back and bring it back right to where it belongs, and that's Toledo.
If you can kind of run through the touchdown play, like with Jacquez, your first read, what kind of did you see when you said snap the ball?
Pre-snap, seeing the safeties kind of low, normally other than usual. So, I expected cover 0 on that, and I expected them to bring pressure on that one. So it was just like, in the film, we knew that we were gonna get that exact same look, and once we got the same look, it was just like it was easy. So I just started smiling in my head. So just make sure I had to complete the ball first. And after that, it was just everything else was just.
And then, I mean, when you caught it, obviously you're just trying to get a first down. I mean, did you ever dream you're going to go all the way?
Yes.
Play it simple, John. Yes.
Yes, I did think I was gonna take it to the house because of my ability, but I want to thank the quarterback for a great game. I want to thank the O-line for great protection. I want to thank the coach for calling a great play on a great during a great moment.
I think was it Anthony Torres through the
block?
great.
Yeah, he had a great block.
Great.
What does it feel like to be streaking down the sidelines? Like, what's going through your head? And that's got to be a feeling unlike any other.
Going to the side, I'm just thinking get to the touchdown and get a ball to the ref. That's it.
Was there once the block was thrown? Is that when you knew that?
Oh yeah.
It was kind of
once I seen his back when he had a high screen block, I knew I was gonna be gone. So,
Yeah, for both of you guys, Daquan and Jacob, what do you think of Torres' block there? I mean, that was pretty awesome.
I feel like that was pretty awesome for him putting his body for the team. That was excellent. I'm proud of him, especially he's a senior, and sending him out the right way.
Like you said, just sending seniors out in the right way. Also, just putting his body on the line, sacrificing his body for us. That shows commitment, selflessness out of him, and that's what we preach. So,
Daquan, what you guys score on your first drive pretty effortlessly, and then for 2 quarters it just seemed kind of stagnant at its source. What did you think was kind of affecting the offense?
Really, just really trying to come up with a better plan. Like, sometimes, like Coach said, we're gonna face adversity, and don't react, respond, and that's exactly what we did. So it's just like, we might bend, but we're not gonna fold, and that's exactly what happened. So.
Down 28-10 at halftime. What was kind of the message in the locker room, and then the third quarter, fourth quarter when you're still trailing? What's the mood like?
Just tighten up. Like, everybody know we all knew we weren't gonna lose. So we just have to come out with the adjustments in the second half and just execute at a high level and just seize the moment, and that's what we did.
Dallas, for the defense, it was kind of a tale of 2 halves or whatever. Especially the pressure that you were able to put on the quarterback in the second half. That seemed to be a huge difference. I don't know. What would you guys do differently, and just how big of a factor do you think that was?
Yeah, I think DQ hit it. I think we just tightened up. In the first half, we just weren't playing well. We weren't tackling well. Communication was off, and just the message at halftime from all of our leaders and coaches and stuff is just to tighten up. We knew we were better than that. Could play better than that, and we know we had a lot of football left to play. So we kind of just came out in the second half and played rocket football.
Just for all you guys, I know this might sound crazy because you guys won the MAC title last year, but in some ways, is this as happy as you've ever been after a win? Because BG, the stakes of so much cool things on the line for you guys. I mean, have you guys ever been happier after a win than this one?
It's the happiest I ever been. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, obviously, it's a rival game. We want to win a rival game. Like, it's more personal. It means more rather than in any other game. But BG versus Toledo, this is a personal game. We take things very personal when it comes to that, and that's really it for real. So.
Yeah, and I think it just means more because we lost last year, and it was really a focus of 365 days that we didn't have this trophy, and we knew where it belonged, and there was an empty spot sitting there, and we knew we had to get it back. So I think a lot of people are happy, but we're not done yet. So we got to keep moving forward.
We've got time for maybe one or two more questions before we let the players go.
Daquan, BG was able to get some pressure on you, kind of limit your running ability, get a few sacks. You know, what did they do defensively that maybe was kind of tough, especially with that defensive line?
Credit to that team, the defense, and you know, they really didn't do too much that we didn't expect. But like I said, we just had to, just fix our mistakes and execute at a high level, and that's what we did. So.
Yeah, really proud of our football team. Super excited for that senior class to be able to play and deal with some of the emotions of what a really tough, hard-fought college football game would provide. Emotional roller coaster there for a while, but again, credit our team for. I think one of the guys set it up here, and I think that's when culture starts to really hit home, when guys start to repeat what the staff and the coaches and everybody in the locker room continuously says, and that is to not pay attention to the reactions but the response, and the response has to be an epic one. And it was going to take a solid 30 minutes in the second half in really all three phases to get a victory. And credit those kids in that locker room for making a commitment to one another to get that done so we could get a win. So, but yeah, like I said, really happy for our seniors and really happy for our football team right now.
Jason, you ran kind of like all the way down the sideline there when Jacques was going for the touchdowns. What kind of going through your mind in that moment?
Well, I saw the catch point and saw that the first down had occurred, and then I saw Anthony's block, and I was really yelling at Anthony to stay on his block because there was nobody behind him. And I saw that, kind of felt that when I saw the defensive look when the pressure was coming. So if we could get it out to him and get it to him quickly, he was going to have a chance if we got a block there, and he did. And man, oh man, and then now you just hope for the no flags.
Because that's a play that'll obviously go down in Toledo lore. Can I ask what the play was called and what you guys were going for there?
Yeah, try break gang, M right, 60 M hole, Z win. So.
And what does that translate to?
Get a win. We got to win.
What were you guys looking for there?
Well, I mean, you got multiple options there, and I think we're always going to try to do the best job we can to put Daquan in a situation where he has multiple options. He's got an unbelievable ability to get out of there with his legs if he has to. Sometimes coaches are really hesitant to put the quarterback in 5-man protection just because he can become a sitting duck there at times. I'm not because I trust him and I trust his ability to get out of harm's way. And it really stresses the defense out if you can release 4 or 5 guys into a pass route, and we were able to get 5 guys out there. And when you're in a pressure situation, the back sometimes is a hard guy to track down. And you saw that a few times tonight's football game. Bowling Green got the back out against us a few times and got some explosive plays that way, and that's hard on defenses. And credit those guys for making a play.
Felt the start of the third quarter was huge. BG made a couple bad plays offensively, bad punt, and then you guys score right away. Just how big was that just for confidence to get you guys?
Well, college athletics, right? Momentum so big. We had to find a way to seize it, and we got a 3 and out. Got a touchdown. Didn't make really any. We didn't make any errors except for the interception. Really throughout the course of the second half. So. We were able to flip the field on a big punt. They got rolling down there, and then, we're just able to hang in there, right? And then second touchdown happened, and we were able to get the 2-point conversion, and from there, and then we held them to a field goal. So, just keep throwing punches, right, and wait for something to crack. And our kids, like I said, just stood right in the middle and kept swinging. And like I said, momentum throughout that third quarter, though, I thought was huge.
When you consider, rivalry game winning in such dramatic fashion after you pretty much trailed the whole game, and what's at stake for you guys, just how euphoric was that feeling of winning?
Oh, incredible. Obviously incredible for our student section to rush the field in the away game. That just tells you everything you need to know about this game, right? And I'm sure, I didn't stick around to watch it, but I'm sure the emotion on the other side was the same in our stadium last year. So, great game, for Northwest Ohio. Great game for both communities. Great game for the Mid-American Conference, and it was on national TV tonight. So I hope it's a great display, and it was a really, really good game to watch. And one that we're happy to come away with the win. And these guys are humble as they sit up here and they talk, and because I think that for this football team, there's more out there for us, and those goals are bigger than a regular season win, no matter what it is. I mean, they want more and more, but and they're going to say all the right things. But I think you can't hide that emotion that those guys have in that locker room right now. So it means the world to them, and I'm happy that they got a chance to experience that.
How would you assess just like what the first half, I guess?
I think that our inability to make third down conversions and their inability to stay on the field on offense. I mean, how many plays in the first half did the quarterback scramble around and 8 or 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage and make it, back across his body throw that was completed and caught? I mean, they made some plays that we just didn't make. So it's going to happen, and much like shooting percentages in basketball, though, you hope that those things even out and, that kind of gets back to a level playing field there. And problem is when you dig yourself in the hole, there's no margin for error to screw up. So, we had some pretty candid conversations at halftime on what needed to be done. And our commitment to one another was going to be stressed and already had been stressed, and it was tested. So, we had to come out fighting. We had pretty much play a pretty perfect second half in order to get a win.
How big of a difference making, I don't know, whatever, what was the D-line and like the front seven, just the pressure they put on BG's quarterbacks?
Well, I mean, a couple of really good individual performances that don't get noticed. I mean, Deshaun Hall, I thought was incredible through the second half tonight. At times, this year, that guy's been a 3. You know what I mean? Sometimes he's a 2. Terrence goes down. We'd already lost Jerry Peters. He's over on the sidelines on crutches. And, D-Jack comes in and gets a couple sacks and a couple hurries and really put him in some tough spots. And then, I thought that, really what helped us the most was, our ability to, in the open sets and the wide splits, some of those run lanes that were getting out of there in the first half, those defensive tackles were able to shut that down in the second half and keep those guys behind the chains. So credit our front for having a really good second half.
This whole week we talked about the fact that you didn't know what would be different to avoid that post-title clinching slump. Now this game followed almost a very similar story to how last year's went, but that one still was a loss. So what do you feel like now sitting here, that difference truly was?
Well, I mean, it's really simple. I mean, you guys are going to live on the side of the fence of whether it's a win or it's a loss. I'm going to live in the real world of there's some things here that we still have to continue to get better at if we're going to continue down the path that we want to be on. If we win the game, there's no hangover from going to the championship. If we'd have lost tonight, everybody would have printed tomorrow that, they're too busy celebrating the championship. So if one play at the end of the game makes a difference there and that sells the story either way, then be my guest. But I'm going to live in the world of we didn't play very good in the first half. There's some times in the second half we didn't play very good. There's a lot of things that we got to continue to work on. I'm in the school of thought that here in week 11 or whatever it is, the football team can continually to get better, and that's our challenge right now. Because, like I said, there's more out for this team out there for us, and that's what they said they wanted back in January. So, I'm damn sure right now we're not going to look back now.
Back to the joy. I know this sounds crazy because you guys have won 2 MAC titles. You've been a part of them, but I don't think we've quite seen the euphoria even after those, which is crazy because that was amazing for you guys. Is this the most satisfying win of your career in some ways, just because of what's out there and the loss last year and the comeback fashion and the character you guys showed? I mean, can you look back at this maybe 10 years from now and say this is the most satisfying win?
I'm really happy for the players. You know what I mean? That this is what a senior class should feel, and this is what we work really hard to do for them. But I'm not dumb enough to sit here and take the credit for them either. These guys work their ass off. They do exactly what they're supposed to do. The team GPA here is a 3.2. These guys do right off the field. And boy, oh boy, they give you everything they got when they come into that locker room each and every day. So it is a tremendous amount of responsibility on the coaching staff's plate to match their energy every day and to make sure that you hold your end of the rope here to make sure that this thing gets done the right way. I'm really happy for them. And, as we look back at it later on, then maybe some of that thought process will come up. But really happy for our seniors, really happy for our football team, and a much needed couple of days off here before we go play our last football game because we're banged up and we're going to need those days.
All right, time for maybe one or two more, and we'll let the coach go.
Talking about being happy for your players, Quan said, didn't get to play the game last year, so he's taking it personal. How does it feel when your player checked off something that he wanted to accomplish this season?
I mean, that's why you do it. This is why you get into this profession. And to watch guys like that have those type of moments, and you don't you don't have time as a coach to look back and, man, that was, but you remember those moments. You remember remember the pictures of the faces, right? Like, you remember the look on Anthony Torres' face when Jacques was running down and past the sideline. I mean, I can see the picture of that kid's face through his helmet right now. He knows he's going to make a block that's going to win the football game. You can see that emotion, and DeQuan Finn takes a knee and he turns around, he's looking in the crowd. Like,